I'm not sure if you can see that. There is a green bin in that drive. Now, that's really not a big deal. However, I was just in that line a few minutes ago, and there's a few cars ahead of me before it gets to the corner, and evidently this guy thinks we're going way too slow. Starts laying on his horn, and I get to the corner where I'm going to turn, and you can tell the guy's like honking his horn, and then I make the turn, and all of a sudden he guns it to go past me and realizes, oops, there's a garbage can. Well, now he got out of line, and I guess he ticked the people off behind him too, so they moved up. Well, now this guy can't get in line, so he had to go all the way around and start at the back of the line. I'm like, oh man, he did not plan. And it's sort of like what that guy's doing there, only they're letting him back up. And I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, dude, I can't go. I can't go any farther. None of us can. We can't go into that lane. And I'm talking, but he's obviously not having it. But then he realized what was going on, and he had ticked off so many people that he lost his place. And I was thinking about that. How many times we get behind people and they're not making any sense. Their actions aren't making any sense. Their decisions aren't making any sense. And they're in our way. And we get frustrated and we can't understand why in the name of time would you ever think that way, or would you ever say that way? And we start laying on our horns and telling people to move, and you just do this, just do that, just do that, and the other thing. And then we get to a point, and hopefully we do, where we realize we didn't have all the information. And we're the ones that are actually looking foolish. The scripture says, be prepared in and out of season to preach the word, correct, rebuke, and encourage. And I've talked about this before. Correcting, rebuking, and encourage is something we really have no problem doing, especially the correcting and rebuking, because we always think we know a better way. But the scripture says, with patience and careful understanding, which means let's figure out why people are doing what they're doing, not just looking at their actions and not just listening to the words, but what's motivating them. Had a conversation just last night and realized that what was motivating a lot had to do with things that I had done. I'm not perfect, and I've made some decisions that have impacted people. And I asked, why would they do something like that? And I realized I've got a part to play in that. A lot of times as Christians, we wonder why people hate the church and why people are angry with Christians and whatever. And then you hear stories of how people in the church have just been abusive and hateful. And if you're not going to live the way that I want you to live, then you're going to be ostracized. And if you're going to struggle with this kind of sin, then I'm not going to have anything to do with you. And if you're going to ask these types of questions, I'm not going to have you in my life anymore. And a lot of people, that's how they found the church. They haven't found the church loving. I had a conversation with a few people last night, and it was in a chat thing, and this woman, she said, I'm a lesbian, can I be part of this conversation? I said, yeah, come on in. It'd be awesome. Let's talk about stuff. And I mean, I'm a pastor wherever I go, so we're talking about sin, we're talking about hell, we're talking about the spiritual warfare, we're talking about all these things. And in walks this woman who has a lifestyle that is diametrically opposed to what I believe. And when she left, I didn't compromise. But when she left, she was really thankful and grateful that we allowed her, because there's not very many places she can ask these questions without people getting upset with her. We got to stop honking. We got to stop waiting to see why are people stuck and how can we love them. We're going to do that a lot better. The closer we get to God, the more intimate we come with God, the more we love God and say, God, how do you want to love the world through us? I think we'll get off our horns and really start loving people and encouraging people and drawing people to Christ in a better way. Hope that's an encouragement to you. God bless.